some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Dealing with a dead battery? Head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. They offer free battery testing to help you know if you need a new battery or not. Or if you're in need of a fresh charge, they can help with that too. They've got reliable replacement batteries starting at just $69.99. And they're the only place you can find proven, tough, Duralast batteries. So next time you're having battery trouble, head to AutoZone.
Hey, it's Michael Jenkins with a BetQL Tournament Timeout brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Two historic programs face off tonight when number 4 UCLA takes on number 8 North Carolina. BetQL is giving UCLA a 62.6% chance to win this game, a clear edge. The model also projects UCLA to win the game by 4 points. North Carolina has had an impressive run over the last couple of months, but the data suggests it will end here. This tournament timeout was brought to you by BetMGM. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on any college basketball game. If either team hits a three-pointer, you'll win $200 in free bets. Just use the bonus code MARCH200. That's bonus code MARCH200. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Awards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit, which expires 7 days from issuance.
Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
My leg was painful, red, and swollen just doing the crossword puzzle. I could have put off telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
He told his doctor and found out his leg pain, swelling, and redness are deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to the lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. If you have one or more of these symptoms, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm that voice for movies you watch on demand. DirecTV Stream brought us together to save the world.
Maybe not save the world, but DirecTV Stream does bring your live and on-demand favorites together.
Your favorites together.
I just said that.
She just said that.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on-demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 D Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
Get the latest sports news and inside information about Michigan and Michigan State on the 5 Star Zone with Rico Beard. Download it today on the Odyssey app. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
The basketball last night, it was totally worth staying up past midnight. I know I'm going to be paying for it later.
Yes, you will.
Duke, Texas Tech was off the rails. It was phenomenal. You got 2 1 seeds that dropped yesterday. Bye, Gonzaga. Goodbye. I'll wave bye for Wojo. You know he hasn't believed in him at all. Goodbye. And then Arizona goes down to Houston, a team that's tough as nails. We are going to talk about who the favorite is at some point later in the hour. Down goes the number 1 overall seed, the face of can't get over the hump Gonzaga basketball.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, 2 years in a row. I mean, the best record in college basketball, 2 years running. Number 1 overall seed. And you can't find a way to get anything done. I mean, obviously this program burst onto the scene in 95. They've had 4 now appearances in the NCAA tournament. They've been to the Final Four twice. They've been to the championship game twice. And nothing to show for it. Has their time run out? Or should I say their Timmy run out?
Throw a flag on that. We'll make time
Playing
for
the role of Stoney today.
No,
So I want to make sure, hey, our morning faithful, they get their bad jokes.
Well, here you go. Get up early. You got your dad jokes in.
Yeah.
Let's get into Michigan a little deeper, okay? And I know it's going to be a theme throughout the show, but John, season's done, Sweet 16, disappointing finish because it's a game they could have and should have won. How do you view this season as a Michigan fan?
You know, it's underwhelming is one that I would use, and because coming into the season, right? Here's what we know. Coming off of, and this isn't the fault of the players, the expectations coming in, year 2 Juwan Howard goes to the Elite 8. All of a sudden, hey, you lose some guys to the NBA, and I understand that, but you've got the #1 recruiting class. How many times have Michigan fans or Michigan faithful said we need to recruit more McDonald's All-Americans? We need more 5-star guys. Well, now you have it. Going into the season, ranked as high as #4, the expectations, the excitement, all the buildup. And again, all of that has nothing to do with the players on the court. That is all, people ranking, people expecting, people, placing their hopes and dreams on these players. Now, what comes along with those hopes, or the reason that those hopes, those expectations are there, is because of the talent that you see. And when you watch them play against Tennessee, you see that talent. When you watch them play about a month ago against Purdue, against Iowa, you see that talent, and your expectations continue to adjust, and you think, wow, this team could be really, really good. But with youth comes inconsistency, and they have been so inconsistent. I guess that's another word I would use for this season. Underwhelming, inconsistent, and the inconsistencies showed up again. We were excited the fact that they had a 2-game winning streak, and it came at the exact right time.
When you put it that way.
Right, but that's, I know. That's all it was.
I know.
Is a 2-game winning streak at the right time, and yes, it's exciting. It's fun. But you can't just look at those 2 games and then forget the 30 games.
Starting route to 7265 Stahalin Avenue.
It's so funny, okay? Because I posted a tweet. It's got almost 2,000 votes. It was a poll, and I said, before the game's played, is this a successful season? And there was about 63% of
At the next light,
saying,
turn
yes,
left.
It was a successful season. I just checked it right now after the game is played. Most people have now said, not a successful season. Fans are very in the moment.
Oh, yeah, it's a minute-by-minute deal.
So what I want to challenge people to do is to zoom out a little bit. How will you define this season and remember this season for Michigan? Because, John, the context is important. This team was an Elite 8 team that brought back its best player, an All-American, Hunter Dickinson.
At the light, turn left onto West 14 Mile Road. Then turn right onto Inkster Road.
A freshman that should have hit the ground running. It happens all the time in college basketball. It didn't at Michigan. So, I mean this as a compliment for the program. When you make the Sweet 16 every year, that is no longer the mark of success. If Illinois makes the Sweet 16, that's a successful season. They haven't done it since 2005.
Right.
If Michigan makes the Sweet 16, it's not a successful season. They have to do more. It's a compliment to the program that they have. So
raise the standard.
Anybody who says this was a successful season, I feel is coping with what they had to endure this season, because their team wasn't consistent, because their team didn't
At the stop sign, turn right onto Inkster Road.
And I think even in the last game of their season, it was a microcosm. They should have beaten the #2 seeded Villanova Wildcats, who are coached by one of the best in the game. They should have won that game, and they didn't. So 248-539-9797.
In 1.9 miles, turn left onto West 12 Mile Road.
Season, how do you define what Michigan did? Let's go to Heather with the news.
All right, boys, if you notice any discolored water along I-696 near that green ooze site in Madison Heights, just ignore it. Don't even worry about it, all right? So many drivers have been reporting seeing this discolored water on the street, especially after it rains. And obviously, they've got a little bit of concern, right? After all that green ooze they saw, they were nervous that it could be toxic. But the state is saying that there is nothing to be concerned about. Apparently, The substance that they're seeing is groundwater that has picked up some iron oxides from this chemical process used to neutralize contaminants in the water. That's what they say it is. They say the water is not toxic or harmful to humans or the environment.
So let me get this right. There were contaminants, but the chemical that they use to neutralize the contaminants is non-toxic.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Still don't think I'll drink it.
Oh no, I would not recommend drinking it. You can just drive by it without any
water, as we
worry.
might say.
Yeah, exactly. The Governor Whitmer kidnapping trial continued on Thursday, and a second convicted kidnap plotter took the stand, Caleb Franks. And he pleaded guilty back in February, and he basically reiterated a lot of the same points that were made the day before by Ty Garbin. We talked about those. But he also told the jury that he stuck with this plan to kidnap the governor because he hoped he would be killed in a shootout with police. So he explained that he had been in a really bad mental state. Mentally, he had fallen apart. 3 of his family members had died in the course of 1 year. And he said that he was looking for an escape. And he said he joined the scheme because he believed that it would lead to his death.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he says.
I tell you what, when you watch and you read and you listen to all of this is certainly going to be a movie someday.
Oh, it could definitely be one, without a doubt.
It's now, I mean, if they put Stoney on the production team, they'll make sure they get it factually correct.
Everything has to be the same,
Yes.
or it won't even be worth watching, basically.
Exactly.
To Stoney, yes.
But
to
it'll be
Stoney.
entertaining.
Unless they tell you before you watch that some of these things are not going to be factual, and then he'll watch it.
The disclaimer, important.
Yes, the disclaimer, for sure. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office is searching for a suspected getaway driver in connection to the death of a 7-year-old girl in Pontiac. There is up to $10,000 in reward money that's being offered for any information that leads to the arrest of a 17-year-old. His name is Juwan Calvin McDonald of Pontiac, and officials are saying that he drove the car used in a U-turn shooting that led to the death of that little girl. We actually talked about this story earlier this week. You might remember she was on her way home from school. Her mom had just picked her up. She was in the car with her mom, her sister, and her 2 cousins when she was shot. Now, the suspected gunman in this story was arrested on Thursday night in Troy. So now they're looking for
in 6.2 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
Find this man for sure.
Horrific.
Gosh, it's an awful story, so hopefully he is found. Did you guys happen to hear about the woman who was catfished and then found true love?
Oh, no. I love the catfish stories.
They're always phenomenal, right?
Yes. Is this the Tinder swindler, or is this something different?
Oh no, not quite the Tinder swindler. I watched part of it. I didn't finish it, but there was a woman.
Finish it. What? We'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
I got a baby at home now who takes more of my attention, but I didn't get to finish it. So there was a woman in Florida who was catfished and then actually threatened by this fake Instagram account with, of course, a fake picture, because that's what catfishing is. And there was this handsome guy, his name was Marcus. He DM'd her, they started chatting, but then things got going way too quick. He got a little creepy, he got threatening, and she decided, I'm done with this, I'm blocking you, Marcus, I am done. But then, a couple of weeks later, there was another account with an image of Marcus that showed up as one of those like suggested, friends on Instagram. And she thought, okay, that looks like Marcus, but he had a different name. His name was Alex. So she decided to reach out to this guy.
Stay in the left 3
Are you
lanes.
Marcus or are you Alex? And they started chatting. These two actually video chatted, and he was actually Alex. But he was the image that was being used to catfish her originally. Do you get this?
I understand this. Yeah, no. I think it's a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
But the person's images that were being used to catfish is a real person who connected
Yes.
with her. That's awesome.
Yes. And now they're dating, and they've been dating for 2 months. I know.
Love. Isn't it beautiful?
And complicated, yes.
Oh, yeah. That's Heather with the news. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Coming up next, season of success. success for Michigan. How will you define this year of Michigan basketball? And with Gonzaga out, who's the favorite in this tournament? It's 97-1.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Want all the perks right now for the Black Card. $0 down, cancel anytime. Black Card membership has an amazing perk, okay? Use of amenities, unlimited tanning, hydro massage, massage chairs, total body enhancement, along with access of over 2,000 locations. Love working out at the Planet Fitness. It's a great time. You walk in there, say hello, how are you? It's wonderful. And I love the cardio more than anything else. It's just great for me. Keeps my heart rate going. Planet Fitness has more than 50 convenient locations in the Metro Detroit area. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. The newest one includes the one in Taylor on Ecorse Road. Right now, great new membership deal for the Black Card. $0 down, cancel anytime. Planet Fitness, get your workout on. It's a judgment-free zone.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. College hoops tonight in the big tournament. Kansas, a 7.5-point favorite against Providence, total of 141.5. I do think Kansas likely to win this game at the end, but as far as betting it against the spread, I want to take the points with Providence. Providence has shown all season, with the exception of last weekend's win against Richmond, really, that Providence is going to play in close games, and when they're a big underdog, you like to bet on them. They're a big favorite. Take the other side because they play
in 2 miles. Take exit 14 east onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
Against Kansas, but I do like Providence to slow the game down and cover the spread. So Providence plus 7.5 tonight against Kansas. That's it for this Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Now's a great time to get a Toyota during our Ready, Set, Go sales event. Hi, friends. Bill Dellinger for Delling Toyota Warren, chatting about some of the great values. For March, well-qualified buyers can lease the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra SR Crewmax 4x4, sign and drive for just $299 a month. Leases for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year, $0 down, just plates and acquisition fee due at signing. We have a limited selection to choose from and are located in the corner of Van Dyke and 696. That's Dowling Toyota Warren. Check us out online at dowlingtoyota.com.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead with Fidelity Income Planning. We'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and help you build a flexible plan for cash flow designed to last, so you can go from saving to living. Fidelity.
Stay in the second lane from right.
As a small business owner, your bottom line is always top of mind. So start saving by switching to Comcast Business Mobile. It's a mobile service designed for small business that can save you money with unlimited data for just $24 per line per month for 10
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 14 east onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
And with access to millions of Wi-Fi hotspots, you'll pay only for the data you need. No line fees, activation costs, or term contracts.
Take the exit.
Save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill, all on the most reliable 5G network. And it's only available to Comcast Business Internet customers. So boost your business's bottom line with a more reliable, more affordable mobile service by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most for veterans 5G data reliability assessment wins in 2H 2021. Wi-Fi networks not tested. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
This hour, Vincent feedback brought to you by Mike Hero, National Benefit Plans. Call 877-734-2200.
In 7.4 miles, take exit 8 toward Warren Avenue.
Same number. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
Up ahead, Brooks left wide open in front of us, left wing a 3. He'll always knock that down, and Michigan with a counter punch to pull it in 6.
A lot of energy, competitive game. Michigan season comes to an end. Jim Costa in for Stoney today. Good morning. Michigan, the game was there for them. I'll continue to say it today. If they can finish at the basket, take advantage of their size, they're in the Elite Eight. As good a team as Villanova is, Michigan was moving the feet defensively. They didn't turn the ball over. They got the looks at the basket with a 7-1 basketball player, and they lost.
Jim, I think that's part of what makes Villanova kind of Villanova. You always think you just got him, and then you don't. Down the stretch.
Tell me if I'm being unfair. Michigan, with those looks, should win that game.
There's no question they should win that game. They had plenty of opportunity. They had shots. But I mean, that's why you play the game.
No, absolutely.
You've got to make the shots. And that's why I say I'm putting this one, and I don't like to do this at the college level. I am putting this one on the players because they were in position. Whatever the offensive rhythm, the scheme, defensively, they were doing all of the X's and O's that the coaches wanted them to do, but they just didn't finish.
Listen, I know some people didn't want Brandon Johnson to play as many minutes as he did. Somebody's got to make a basket at the hoop. And if you don't, if you can't make half your free throws, if you can't finish your layups and dunks, I can't blame the coach. You know who I can blame if you have to play the blame game is the 7-1 guy. And he made himself a target, Hunter Dickinson. He's the biggest reason Michigan won back-to-back games, the biggest reason they were in the Sweet 16, and he's the biggest reason they lost yesterday. It goes both ways.
And there was even a play specific that was pointed out by Jim Jackson. Dickinson gets the ball, carries his head down, then lays it up, misses it. And Jim Jackson, doing the color analyst, says that's not the play, that's not the mixture that you need, like this rugged, put your head down and then just put it, softly lay it up,
Yeah, I thought he was as big a problem for Michigan as anything else because he needed to be the difference maker. Well, he was the difference maker. He's going back to the crib now, as he likes to say. He's going back to the crib. Hunter Dickinson season, he gets to watch on the couch like everybody else for the rest of the tournament.
Right.
Now the season, as we look at the season, John, I think Michigan basketball is too good a program to accept the Sweet 16 as a successful season. Michigan basketball brought back enough and recruited enough to where this can't be a successful season. If one deems it to be a successful season, I think it's to cope with what was a disappointing season that had halfway decent ending. Like Sweet 16 isn't anything to be ashamed of, but it's certainly not a success given where Michigan's program is playing.
No, and I want to tweak this question just a little bit.
Go for it.
How do you view this season in the context of, you just mentioned it, prior to this year, right, it's 4 trips to the Sweet 16 consecutive. Now they do it again. But I want to ask you this, and this is how I'm going to see this. It's a very pivotal season for Michigan basketball. And just think about some of the things that I talked about in the last segment is coming out of last year's trip to the Elite Eight. You have the number 1 overall recruiting class. You've got a lot of build-up, a lot of hype coming into this season. You win the Big Ten regular season crown, whether it's tied with Illinois or not. It's a percentage point. I don't care. You're right there. Yep. Now, this year, you underwhelm in terms of the preseason expectations. You end up 19 and 15. You did make it to the Sweet 16, but for Juwan Howard, this is year 3. We saw there were some bumps in the road. Obviously, we know what happened at Wisconsin. We know the final 5 games of the season he did not coach. The development of those 4 and 5 star guys. Did you see?
In 2 miles, take exit 8 toward Warren Avenue.
The development of Houston or Diabate, or even, let's talk about, I know he's an All-American, but Hunter Dickinson. Did you see him play to the level that you expected and have the results that you expected? Because these are now Juwan Howard guys. This is now his team. This is his program. We're not talking about Beeline guys. I think this is a very pivotal season because last year, coming off of, and Juwan coming to Ann Arbor, coming from the NBA, a member of the Fab Five. At that time, he was the adult in the room for those, 5 players. Everybody thought that this coming back, there's a lot of hype. So he capitalizes on that in terms of recruiting. There's success. And he, again, capitalizes on the recruiting. Now, how do recruits view what they saw from Caleb Houston, from Diabate? What do recruits feel about Michigan's program? They'll tell us in regards to their commitments and what it is that Michigan has and Juwan Howard's able to put together for a recruiting class.
Use the right lane to take exit 8 toward Warren Avenue.
Like, what is this program going to be under Juwan Howard? I think this was a very pivotal year, or at least the one coming up. When you look at how they rebound from this year, it's a very pivotal time.
248-539-9797. Michigan basketball season ends in the Sweet 16.
Take the exit, then turn right onto West Warren Avenue.
Jekyll and Hyde routine. What's the lasting kind of taste in your mouth as a Michigan basketball fan?
At the light, turn right onto West Warren Avenue.
Who's the favorite the rest of the way in the tournament? I mean, we'll get into it. And then at 7:02, John, can we unify the Lions fan base? Is it possible? There's a lot of pressure. People are on edge right now. I want to see if such a thing is possible. Unifying Lions fans, it's a tall task for us. Some ticket text on Michigan. Texter says, Michigan got way overhyped McDonald's All-Americans. Obviously, that top-ranked recruiting class wasn't that good.
That goes to the pivotal moment.
In half a mile, turn right onto Stahelin Avenue.
Recruits look at it as, hey, if Caleb Houston had gone to Duke, what would he be as a player? Would he be, regarded as the same as Banchero?
Would he have been able to shoot and avoid the top of the backboard? That's the question I want to know.
But so, you have McDonald's All-Americans. You have those athletes. Now, what did you do with them?
Well, and that's what Mike in Williamston, he gives his assessment. He says, it ends up being a successful season with a disappointing end. You can have both.
Can you?
I don't know. Again, I think Michigan, as a program who annually makes the Sweet 16, this is not it. This is not what you should be deeming as a successful season. What you're doing is, what Mike's doing is, he is lowering the bar because the team underachieved. And I don't think
the destination is on your left. 7265 Stahelin Avenue.
Successful as they've been. It's coping. It's at the end going, yeah, I know I had to suffer through a lot of bad basketball, but I got to smile a little bit at the end, so isn't it really the friends we made along the way? That's what that Mike text sounds like.
It's the big butt in the room, right? Yeah, but.
Right. Texter says only a naive viewer can say it was a game Michigan should have won. Call me naive. Villanova was acting physical on defense. They were able to disrupt Dickinson and Michigan's timing by contesting every pass, every shot, including the misses around the basket. The better team won.
I don't think I'm necessarily arguing that. And I did say that Villanova, you've got to give them credit because there were two teams on the floor. And when you have one that can't finish or doesn't make baskets, like, why is that? Sometimes it's just because, as a player, it feels like there's a barrier over top of the rim, right? You just can't, it's the opposite of the zone. Other times, it is because you are constantly harassed, and that harassment pays off in maybe your legs are a little bit tired because you're working so much harder to get to the rim. And Villanova had some of that.
Villanova's a really well-coached team. When you watch them offensively, they don't score a ton of points because they play at a slower pace, but they know exactly what they're doing. And they generate a ton of good looks. I thought Michigan was huffing and puffing, trying to keep up, and did a pretty good job defensively, holding them to the low shooting numbers. And on the other end, I thought Villanova, well-coached, throwing bodies, rotating, making life difficult for Dickinson whenever he caught the ball. And even if he caught it clean, the threat of pressure, even attempting to put a second guy in there, I thought it was a well-coached game. Villanova's clearly the better basketball team based on the entire season and watching these two teams play. I just can say what I said because Michigan, despite all that, found themselves in the position.
Starting route to 7265 Stahelin Avenue.
More than 50% of their free throws, it's a different game.
Yeah.
What, 7 of 14? Layups and dunks, 12 of 25? I mean, if you're in that position and you have the 7-footer, and you get the looks, you're supposed to shoot 60, 65%, which is what they did in the previous games.
Yeah.
So that's
the destination is on your right. 7265 Stahelin Avenue.
The gimmies at the hoop, and they didn't make them. Let's go to the phones. We've got Mike in Clinton Town.